Hey, y'all, this is Cynthia Rausch, and you are listening to Texas Toast Podcast.
Best, so let's go.
Cheers, everyone. Welcome to the Texas Toast Podcast with Miss Helen. And I'm so excited to finally have Cynthia Rausch here on the podcast. Oh my gosh, you're doing some amazing things and you look
Thank you.
absolutely glowing and gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. It's all in the lighting.
No, it's that light inside of you. That's
Oh,
that's what it's all about. Yes, it
I'll
is.
take that.
And yes, and you're just a big old package for us. You're Texas, you're gospel, you're red dirt. And I know you have been grinding. You have been out on this radio tour. I've been watching you and I've just enjoyed seeing you
All
and
the
visiting
crazy.
all of our radio friends. And you even brought your little boy, Ethan. That was cute.
Yeah, he's my harmonica player, so yeah, he does a great job.
Yes, and definitely music runs in your family. We'll talk some more about the radio tour, but that kind of segues really good into the musical background that you come from in your family.
Mhm. Yes, I have a very large family, and we're all very musical. So 8 kids, all of us either play or sing music.
And so you moved around quite a bit because your dad was in the Navy, right?
hmm Yes,
So
ma'am.
where all did you get to enjoy living and what was it like moving to different places?
Well, I was fairly young whenever it was all going on, but I remember bits and pieces. But I was actually born in Virginia. And then we lived in Florida for a time, and then I'm trying to think of where all it was, several different other places, but those are the two main ones because there were babies born at those locations. And so it's easy to remember because there was big moments. But yeah, we've lived in all over. So just it made me very patriotic. My dad is very much about the military, and I have several cousins and family members that are still currently serving, and so we're just a very just support our troops family, and thankful for what they do for us. So yeah.
You come from the musical family, and and it just, I guess it was something that you were born and it was bred into you. It was
Mm-hmm.
your choice to make, and you chose it, and you do it very well. So tell me
Oh,
about
thank
the
you.
early beginnings growing up and singing and learning music.
So my mom and dad have always done music my whole life. They met in a band, and so growing up, my mom and dad were constantly playing at church, at the fair, all that. And they sing beautifully together. It was just always such a joy to hear my parents perform together. And when I was about 14, my oldest sister picked up the bass guitar, and my little brother learned the drums. And my parents were like, "Well, hey, let's try this out." And I already started singing at that point, and we went to the county fair and played during their gospel Wednesday night thing. And afterwards, I sang. Afterwards, my sister walked off the stage, and all the guys were like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cool you play the bass." And nobody came up to me. I'm like, I sang, but so I was like, I'm gonna learn guitar. I started playing guitar shortly after, and I fell in love with it. I was like, it was a stupid reason to start playing, but I'm so glad I did. It became something I loved, and I started writing right away. By the next county fair, we were playing my songs, and that was just
Look
such
at
a
you.
awesome moment. Nobody came up afterwards and said a word to me that year, but I didn't care because I was just excited to be able to share my music with people and hopefully encourage them. And that's just kind of the basis for my music, is hopefully bring hope to the world. So yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. You do that, and I loved listening. I've listened to your music. I mean, been following you for a while, and it's just that you go through like we'll get into some of the songs because it's like you make me laugh, you make me feel grateful and thankful when I listen to your music, and then I mean, it's just there's just so much fun that goes on, like the fun one, hangry, like oh my gosh. Why didn't somebody come up with a song about that years ago? I mean, like way back.
Oh,
But yeah, you did. You did it.
I was
I,
shocked there
s-
wasn't
I
one
say
there.
bad I say bad things too when I'm hungry.
Right? It's kind of a thing in my family. We're all hypoglycemics and diabetics, and so it's like sugar and stuff. If we don't eat, it's it's bad. And plus, I was thinking of that Snickers commercial. So
Yes, yes,
not yourself when you're hangry.
for sure. I know
So,
so many times I come through the door, especially if it's days where I have to go like run errands or I had meetings or I've done something and I just didn't have time and it's another
mhm.
40 minutes for me to get back home from town and it's like you probably don't want to talk to me right now. I got to grab something to eat. So, and
Oh yeah.
then you're an outdoor girl like me, ducks and bucks. You nailed it on that too. I know I picked the most obscure songs, but that's it just
No,
there it
I love
is.
it. I love it. I mean, that not many people discuss those songs with me much. I mean, there's a huge joke about hangry rolling around all the time. But Ducks and Bucks, nobody's really actually ever asked me about that song or brought it up before. So I'm really like, it just made my heart happy. So yeah, I mean, I haven't hunted in years, but yeah, but I have a friend that she was like really like she was going out like early morning in the freezing cold for deer season, and
Mhm.
I was like, that is dedication, girl. And so the her inspiration as well as my dad, I almost hit a deer. It's a weird place where this song came from. I almost hit a deer, and my dad said, "You're dodging bucks," and I'm like, dodging bucks. I feel like that could be some so it turned into something a little bit more, country, but yeah. So it's like it was just kind of a weird place where it came from, but it's all from experience and stuff. So
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. That just so made me think of a story because it's like, I'll tell it real quick
Yeah.
because I went on this big hunt to Montana and like I had everything sighted in and I was ready to go and I'm in the stand. I got the buck fever. I missed. But literally I did come back from Montana and like 2 weeks after that I was driving because I did morning radio. So it was dark 30 in the morning. I was driving to work down one of the back roads to town. And guess what? And the joke was
Ooh.
she couldn't shoot a deer in Montana, but she hits them when she gets back home. So anyway, just fun stuff.
Hey, get
And
them how you
then
got to.
uh-huh. Yeah. And then I was really inspired by Waiting on a Miracle. That was
Oh,
nice
thank
on that.
you.
And of course,
Thank
all
you.
of those were from your album that came out in 2020, Where I
Hmm.
Stand. Now you've had some radio releases
Hmm.
that we've all enjoyed. What the Whiskey Gave You was a great one, charted
Thank
really
you.
well for you. And the
Mhm.
video, you did a video for that one too.
Yes. Yes. It was a very emotional video to film. And
Yes.
yeah, it was the response from people messaging me and emailing me and stuff about how that inspired them, whether they are the family of those that are in addiction or in those situations, or if they were the person that was in addiction themselves. They've all messaged me and been like that. Sorry, I try not to cry. How much it helped them, how much it opened their eyes, not only to, especially the addicts said, how much it opened their eyes to what their family is going through. And so,
Mhm.
sorry, I told myself I wasn't going to cry if I talked about this again. But yeah, no, it's just, as having been an addict and grown up with an addict, I saw both sides. And so that's where No Way, No How came from my story. And then What the Whiskey Gave You came from the other side. And so um, it's weird to say it was a blessing to see both sides, but to be able to help people by seeing both sides, that was a blessing for me. So that's yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'll talk all day. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. So many of us have been through so much, and
Mhm.
that whiskey will go right along with the whole domestic violence stuff too. That yeah,
Mhm.
and that topic gets brought up a lot on this podcast. We probably need to engage in that more. So you have your new radio single out now, Abracadabra.
Yeah.
So great,
Isn't that
another
fun to
great
say?
one. Love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Yeah, that was just kind of like the deceit and the news media, government, all that, and how people think that they're being sneaky, and it's kind of like just that whole nope, we see what's going on. So yeah,
Yes,
kind of
yes.
basic, but it was a fun way to present it.
So you've already put out such good music, and I'm sure there's more in the library. I'm sure you've probably got a catalog of music. And so are you
Yeah,
working on some new projects for us? What's the kind of the future looking like?
I am actually was going to be contacting one of my studios today to hopefully set up a session in the near future and get another single ready to roll out in the near future. I'm really excited about it. I have several to choose from, and I'm trying to narrow it down because you can only do so many at a time, financially speaking. And so, but
Right.
I'm very excited. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm hopefully continue to try and uplift people and encourage them. So that's the
Hmm.
hope. So
I just love it. I love it. Okay,
thank
so
you.
all right, let's talk about the radio tour. And what was that like for you? And I mean, you were on the road for a while.
Yeah, a whole week. Well, almost a whole. Well, yes and no. But yeah, I've just finished up travel time last week, and it was 2,400 miles, I believe, total.
Ooh,
And and that's that's all the miles that whole week. And it was my friend Lauren Lee, who is my fiddle player in my band. She went with me, and
she's hilarious. Oh
isn't
my
she
gosh. I
great?
was kind of almost hoping that she was going to pop in. I was like, I wonder
Oh,
if I should have
well,
brought that up next
she's in
time.
Nashville right now, or I'd say yes, but
She is hilarious. Y'all are just a hoot.
you have no idea what the car rides were like. Oh my goodness, we don't stop talking the whole time. We know. I mean, we're the best of friends. We met back in 2020 when my album released. Actually, around that time, we got to know each other on social media, and she came to my album release party, and I pulled her on stage for a special song for my audience at that event. And she just rocked it, and we've just been nonstop ever since. We actually chatted today. I sent her a picture of a selfie earlier, and I said, "Feeling cute. I might do a radio interview later." So irrelevant, but there you go.
No, no, I love it. I love it. And tell her I said hello. I can't wait to
I
meet her
will.
one day.
Oh yeah, she's a hoot and a half, like
Yeah.
ball of energy. I
Yeah.
love her. Yeah.
So, speaking of some of the girls in the business, I saw where I was looking at your tour schedule and I saw you've got this songwriter thing coming up, and I know Rachel Stacey's involved in it.
Mm-hmm. Jen
Who
Ford,
else?
Bailey
Yes.
Ray, and
Yes.
I think Kendi Jean might be joining us too. I'm not sure, but yeah, she's the one that set it up. So it's a songwriter circle in Weatherford, and I'm really excited about it. I've been seeing
Oh,
videos and
wow.
stuff. She does it like I think once a month, and it's so cool, and I'm really excited to go. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw that. I thought, oh, that's gonna be really good. So what
I
other kind of events and venues have you been playing?
Well, I played music festival here in Kansas, and then I have uh, shows down in Bowie as well as Mineral Wells. I'm going to be playing there, and I play in Wichita, Kansas. I've just got shows all over from clubs to bars
Yes.
to regular venues to outside in the heat. So it's pretty much everything. So yeah,
So, outside of your family, obviously being so influential in your music, who were some other people that influenced you along the way with your music and encouragers or cheerleaders?
well, I will say number one is my husband. He has been the number one encourager, not to be cliche, but seriously, he designs all my merch. He designs 90% of my flyers and such that are on my website and all that. But also, Lauren Lee, my fiddle player, she is just amazing. Like, she's been playing fiddle and performing on stage for 25 years, I think, is what she is at right now. She's a little older than me, but the girl's been playing since she was like 13, and she's just been so encouraging and really given me a lot of education on what she knew in the business and the different experiences she's had, and to be able to feed off of what she's learned has been really beneficial, as well as my previous promoter Debbie Green and my
Oh, yes.
current promoter Dylan Green, Steen. I almost said Green.
Oh, Dylan Steen. He's a good one. He's so
He is.
good and he's so funny.
Love him. I
Yes.
didn't know he had a sense of humor like he does until I got him on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, we
I
match weird. I like it.
doesn't it just, he just kills me. I'm like, sometimes I'll just be like, I'll just sit there for a second and I'll just bust out laughing. And I know Ron's looking at me. And I'm like, okay, hold up. You gotta hear this.
Let me explain. I'll read it, and I'll read his stuff out loud to my husband because he's friends with him on Facebook too. And I'll be like, guess who posted that? And he'll be like, Dylan. And I'm like, yeah, you just know.
Just
He's
love
awesome.
it. And of course, you visited with us at the T3R Awards. You came
Mm-hmm.
by the Media Center. And so I've been wanting on you on the podcast for so long. So
Well, thank you.
outside of music and then raising your son and doing all the tours and radio tours and putting out music, do you ever have some downtime? And if you do, like what is it for you? What do you like to do?
Well, outside of music, there's not a lot. uh, but no, just spending time with my family, and I homeschool my son now because he goes on the road with me a lot, and so that takes up quite a bit of time. But just weirdly enough, I actually love to do like crafting and like home decor stuff, and I'm obsessed with cleaning. So yeah,
Oh, good. Yes.
that's my downtime. It's getting laundry done. So that's
Doesn't
but
it,
yeah,
yeah,
sorry, go
that's
ahead.
cool. No, no, I was gonna say, doesn't it just it feels so good to get that done. And then next thing you know, as soon as it's done, it's already, especially with you having a
Mm,
young one, you look
yeah,
and it's like, I mean, I'm an empty nester and I still have between where does the trash come from and where does the dirty clothes come from? How can two people like us come up with that much stuff? I mean, it's
right.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. And I sometimes I feel a little like have some self-pity about it, but then my oldest sister has 10 children.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm good with my three of us here at home. So I got this in the bag.
Wow. I bet y'all's family holidays are something else.
Yeah, there's 27, almost 28 grandbabies. Almost, yeah, 28 on my side alone. And then there's one and my son on my husband's side. So we got the tiny family and the giant family. And so and my husband's always, when we go to family events, he's like, we gotta breathe.
So, speaking of the holidays, I saw where you had some holiday music. Are you going to have any holiday music for this season coming up by any
Um,
chance?
I'm not sure it's going to be anything new at the moment. I'm working on a new song, but I don't think it'll be ready in time, but hopefully next year. So but
Okay.
my two
Yeah.
current ones that are released, I might be sending one to radio though. So yeah, just see what I can
Okay.
do.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start kind of wrapping this up. Is there anything else that I missed or you would like to talk about?
I don't know.
Get
You
off
covered pretty good. I was good at this. Look at that. I honestly, it's just I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do, and I'm very grateful to people like you who also give me a chance to have a moment on your platform and talk about what I do and who I am, and hopefully spread some love and hope, and yeah, just a little bit of
Yeah.
laughter.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
I'm a little weird, so
Aren't we all? That's
yeah,
what's
the
so
good
fun.
ones are.
Yes. Just- I mean, like I'm one of those that like the weirdest things will happen to me and I just deal with it. I just roll with it and
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah, that's
So
why.
yeah, well it's been so nice having you on the podcast and visiting and getting to discuss in depth about your music and just kind
Thank
of get
you,
to know a personal side of you. So thank you so much, Cynthia Rausch.
and I appreciate your time. Thank you.